Captain.
Sebastian Labs, hello.
We're here to talk to you about how CPU and memory testing can help reduce one of the biggest headaches in online advertising. So Sebastian's going to show you a website where we've collected ad specs from a lot of publishers and ad networks, because there's a lot of back and forth between publishers and ad networks, between agencies and ad networks and publishers, because when agencies build ad units, they're not up to spec. So what we've done is we've pulled all those specs together in consistent format across all publishers and ad networks. Additionally, you can search across them. You can compare specs, and if the specs are the same size, you can actually combine the specs into one common spec that will run across a number of different publishers. So that's pretty good. You know, that's nice. It's a website. It's a database. It's kind of pretty, but where's the secret sauce here? So why don't we set the phasers to stunning and engage this audience?
That's right. Okay, let's switch over to Flash authoring, because there is one more thing to this solution that we're trying, and the aid that we try to give you. We want to actually, so just imagine I'm a creative professional for a second, not a captain, not flying my starship, and I just did this crazy little star field animation SWIF, lots of particles and some nice warp things and stuff like that. And before I want to hand this over to the publisher of my choice, I want to make sure that I actually need his specs, so this whole back and forth doesn't happen.
You're going to test it.
Exactly, you're going to test it, and this is what we built. We got this little panel here, and what it actually does, it is connected to the other screen. I hope you see it over here. This is our backend that we built. It's a little testing service, and what we do here, I'm just going to choose the SWIF now that I just compiled. And when I upload this thing, it will actually do a lot of automated testing. It will completely tear apart the SWIF, analyze it frame by frame, and it will do performance testing. This is what it should look like. So the thing is coming here, we see it running in real time in this cool player. You see here all the frame data that is being collected all the time, every single frame that we collect. And what you can see here is the CPU curve that we just had from this SWIF. And so it's not only the CPU stuff that we can figure out, but this modified player that we did, it's also a lot of different things. So we can get width and height and frame rate and the click tags and whatever, network requests, what is it pulling in, what is going out, external interface calls, and huge more, you name it. So after we did this test, which is only 10 seconds, we come back to this panel, and this panel actually told us, okay, you're pretty good, except for the CPU test, because that failed. So our publisher came up and told us, guy, you have to be like under 50, this is our threshold, it's our hardware independent SWIF bench score that we came up, that is now usable. And okay, we see this is something completely wrong here. And if it was just a single peak or something, I would directly jump into that frame, because we got so many detailed information about these things. But it's messed up all over the place. So what I'm going to do, and I have an idea because I just wrote this thing, I'm just going to jump in here and change the number of particles that we use in this little.
Slow the warp speed down.
Exactly, this is what we do now. And I'm going to compile this thing again, and you see it's a little less particle, a little less action in there. And now I'm going to take the very same thing again and resend it back, and hopefully the curve will look a little different. And there you go, it does. That's pretty nice. So it gives you an idea of where you might want to look in your Flash. Rendering information, we can tell you a lot of stuff about every single frame.
That's pretty good. So what do you think, Adobe Max? That's great. CPU memory testing, all kinds of ActionScript testing, but that's kind of on the desktop. You know, all these great parties we've been having at this conference, we've got a number of different devices. We've got phones coming out of everybody's pockets. What are you going to do about devices, Captain?
I'm glad you brought that up, and of course me and the engineers, we wrapped our heads around this, and we did a little device testing on our very own Android.
You mean Lieutenant Data?
Yes, exactly. We took Lieutenant Data, did a couple of tests, but actually he's a very nice guy, but he doesn't suit at all for being a mobile device. He's not
looking kind of old there.
He's not really good with this. So we came up, we took all that stuff that we did on the desktop, all the player hooks that we grabbed, and ported them to the Android device actually. And we're going to show you this right now. So I'm just using
Lieutenant Nexus 1.
That's exactly right.
Right. So can we switch to RoboCam, please? Number 4 to RoboCam, which is the left side.
Okay. I think it's there. Perfect.
There already. Perfect.
Let's just hit the very same test, and it'll run here in real time, as you can see. And still the analysis is going back there on the server, and I hope everybody can see that. So we got this cool performance stuff actually running on an Android device. Great, right?
Check it out. So you got ad specs in one place. We're using those ad specs to test memory, CPU, all kinds of action script, make online advertising and any kind of third-party content on websites easier.
Okay. That's it?
That's it. There's it.
Okay.